Hey everybody, what's up? Ray here again, and we are back in Minecraft. This time, however, I don't want to show you something I built, I want to show you a plugin that I'm currently developing. I already teased this in the last Marath episode, and now here we are. So, the plugin that I'm creating is called WorldShaper, and it is an in-game map editing and terraforming tool, specifically designed to take on WorldEdit and VoxelSniper. And I know what you might be thinking, why in the world would I create a plugin specifically designed to compete with WorldEdit and VoxelSniper? And I will answer that question in this video, but that might turn out to be a bit rambly, so I want to push that to the end of the video and talk about the actual features of the plugin first. So let's get started with that. Alright, so whenever you join a server with WorldShaper installed, you will see this welcome message right here. Now the plugin doesn't have a permission system implemented just yet, but once those are in, you will only be able to see this message if you have at least one WorldShaper permission. If you don't have any, then you won't see this message at all. So, with that said, let's actually get into some map editing, shall we? So first of all, to change anything, we of course need to select an area. So to do that, we will do /wand, and this will give us a selection wand. Now, it currently still says area wand, but that's just a little bug. Pretend that this says selection wand. You can see that this actually has a custom name and lore, and this is actually important. You cannot just use any iron axe as the wand. It has to have this specific name and this specific lore to work. This makes sure that people in survival cannot just craft the WorldShaper wand, if you will. So with this wand, I can now make a selection. So if I just, for example, place some blocks here, I can left click this block to set position 1, right click this block to set position 2. And I can actually see all of these positions that I've just set by doing /positions, and that gives me this list right here. So if I right click the same block again, or left click the same block again, you can see it tells me that this was already set. Now, these blocks that I've just created, these positions if you will, are called the selection, and the selection will create an area. Now at the moment there's only one area type, and that is the cuboid area. So the cuboid area will take the first two positions in this list, and there can be more, but the cuboid area only cares about positions 1 and 2. And consider these two positions to be the diagonal of the cuboid. So this is now creating a cuboid spanning this entire area here, and I can demonstrate that by doing /set stone, and ta-da! We have a stone cube. So when it comes to the operations that you can actually perform, the list is admittedly currently still very limited, but those things alone can already be very powerful. So the first one you've already seen, that is the set command, and the parameter that you give it is a pattern. So I currently just use the simplest type of pattern, which is just one type of material, right? And I still have this area selected, so I can just do oak, planks, and it can be basically anything you want, right? However, a pattern can be more complicated. A pattern can be multiple things, and you cannot have spaces in there, just so you know, right? This has to be all without spaces, but I can give it multiple materials. So, like this, for example. And in that case, it will evenly split between the materials you give it. You can also give it a percentage. So if I do 90% oak planks, you can see it now created 90% oak planks and split the rest evenly between the two that didn't get a percentage. So that is the set command and the pattern. Now, in addition to the set command, we also have the replace command, and for that I will just quickly select this area here. And the replace command, if you've used WorldEdit, you already know how this works. So I'm gonna do replace, and the first parameter will be a mask. So here I'll just say gold block, and I can theoretically comma separate this with other things. I'll show that in a second. But first of all, let's just replace gold blocks, and we'll replace them with a pattern again. So this can be, here I can just say diamond, block and glass, if you will, right? And it just replaced that happily. And now what I can do, just to quickly show that off, is if I do replace and I now say stone, comma, glass, now all stone and glass blocks will match this pattern. So if I now set this to gold block, both of them are replaced. So that is the replace command. Okay, I want to note a little detail about patterns. While generally patterns are just a list of blocks to match, you can give them modifiers. Those are specifically above, below and not. So the way this works is if I just select this area here, for example, I can replace not air with farmland. I think it's this way. Yeah, see? And now this air block hasn't been replaced, but everything else has been replaced because it's not an air block. And now I can just select this area here, for example, and say replace above farmland with wheat. And there we go. And a little detail about patterns, you can actually give this block properties. So here we can say h equals, I think 7 is the highest value, and ta-da, we have wheat. And of course, I can also say combine this with more. So I can say wheat h equals 6, right? And now it's mixed up, right? You can see another example right here. This is something I did for testing. So, you know, these are the two commands that are currently in the plugin. Well, the two map editing commands, let's say, right? But already with these two commands, you can do quite powerful things. So there's that. The feature set is obviously not exactly impressive at the moment, but you know, you gotta start somewhere and you gotta start small. And a lot more things are going to come in the future. So that gets us to the reason why I even do this. If you're not interested in that, you can turn off the video now. But before you do that, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Oh, and I almost forgot, I do have a Discord server. I never really advertised it before, but it will become more relevant now since it will be the central place for you guys to make suggestions and issue bug reports once the plugin is out and stuff like that. So definitely consider joining that, link is down below. So, why am I creating this plugin? Well, as you probably know, and if you didn't, then you know now, I am creating a Minecraft world called Merath. And I'm already working on this for quite a while, and you know, it's a creative world and I'm using WorldEdit and VoxelSniper, and don't get me wrong, they are amazing plugins, but me using them all the time also means that I'm pretty familiar with them, and I also know the mild annoyances that they might have. On the WorldEdit side, for example, we have two different versions, WorldEdit and Fast Async WorldEdit, and they both have slightly different feature sets, which is incredibly annoying. And generally speaking, Fast Async WorldEdit is more performant most of the time, but WorldEdit has the better features. With exceptions, of course, which makes it even more annoying. And on the VoxelSniper side, while the actual, you know, operations that you can do, the algorithms are really cool and really good at allowing you to do terraforming, they are somewhat limited compared to WorldEdit when you're talking about things like replacement masks and patterns. And it's a bit annoying to only have one brush active at a time. Or technically two, but they always come in fixed paths, right? So you always have to switch between brushes constantly, which, like, the commands are deliberately short, but you're still typing a lot, which is annoying. And on top of those plugin-specific annoyances, there's also the more general annoyance of just having two plugins, VoxelSniper being focused on terraforming and WorldEdit being focused on map editing, but with the two plugins basically not interacting with each other at all. And, you know, having a unified system that can just do both map editing and terraforming would just be so much more amazing. But, you know, these, as I said, somewhat mild annoyances with these two plugins, and they alone wouldn't be enough of a reason for me to actually create WorldShaper. So there is another reason. What I talked about, these annoyances, are sort of push factors that push me away from using WorldEdit and VoxelSniper, but again, they are annoyances, they are not massive problems or anything. But there are also pull factors that pull me towards actually creating my own plugin, right? They are positive reasons, if you will, compared to negative reasons. And these are just the fact that I have my own ideas of things I would like to add and ideas on how I think I can improve on certain features or add new systems that make it easier and faster for people to build creative worlds like the very one that I'm creating. Like, one of the most annoying things for me as a builder is these repetitive tasks that have little to do with, you know, creativity. And being able to automate those would be a big deal. And I think I'm capable of doing that. And that idea of being able to create a bigger and better version of what's already there is what really drove me into, well, the decision to create this plugin, basically, and what really makes me want to get this done properly. Now, could I contribute to WorldEdit and or VoxelSniper to facilitate these changes I would like to see, instead of creating my own plugin from scratch? Well, yes, I could, but I don't want to, because first of all, I'm a control freak, and second of all, I just like experimenting with stuff and trying out new stuff, and also maybe sometimes reinventing the wheel just because why not, you know? Like, while I do want to see these improvements, I'm also just doing this for the fun of developing a plugin. And there I just want to be able to do the things I want to do without having to get approval from the project owners, etc, etc, you get the deal. So, you know, that's why I prefer creating my own plugin instead of contributing to other people's plugins. So yeah, those are the reasons why I'm creating my plugin here, and I think this is more than enough justifying myself, I guess. So now I'm here, and I'm here to stay, and we'll see how this whole plugin experiment goes, I would say. So that leaves me with only one last thing to say, and that is thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe if you want to continue following the development of WorldShaper. And see you next time. Goodbye.